welcome to this explainer. Today, we're jumping right into one of the most fascinating origin stories in ancient mythology, the intricate, cosmic chain of events that led to the birth and the incredibly legendary naming of Hanuman. Okay, let's dive right into this. Picture this. How does a hungry newborn baby almost plunge the entire universe into complete darkness and, in the process, earn one of the most revered names in history? The sequence of events here is just absolutely mind-blowing, and it really sets the stage for an epic saga. So, starting with Chapter 1, Shiva's 11th Rudra avatar. This is where Lord Shiva sets a really profound, quiet, divine plan into motion to assist Lord Ram. The source material actually captures this beautifully. It quotes Shiva directly, saying, "I am taking the 11th Rudra avatar to serve Sri Ram." What's absolutely crucial to take away from this is that Hanuman's fierce devotion to Ram wasn't just some choice he made later in life, right? It was completely preordained by Shiva before the avatar even took earthly form. It was literally his cosmic purpose from day one. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how a cosmic god takes an earthly form. It's essentially a literal step-by-step transfer of divine power. First, Shiva manifests his radiant energy. Then, he summons Pavandev, the wind god, to act as a cosmic courier, carrying it safely through the heavens. And finally, this energy is carefully delivered straight to the earthly realm, directly to Mother Anjana, who is destined to give birth to this extraordinary being. Which brings us to Chapter 2, the birth of Pawanputra. As you can imagine, this divine transfer brings immense joy to the forest. So the delivery is a massive success. The magnificent child arrives safely to Mother Anjana and the Monkey King Kesari, and this gives us the first of his many names, Pavanputra, meaning son of the wind. You see, before Pavandev delivered Shiva's energy, he asked for a pretty special boon. He wanted the privilege of being considered the child's father. Shiva happily granted this request, so the child was born with the eternal blessing of the wind god, forever tying him to the power, breath, and sheer speed of the wind itself. But that wasn't his only birth name. There's also Bajrang, which translates to one with a strong frame. When Mother Anjana first looked at her newborn child, she just marveled at his incredible physique. She saw these divine, almost indestructible marks on his little body and instantly decided to call him her Bajrang. It was the perfect testament to his innate, God-given strength. All right, moving to Chapter 3, attempting to swallow the sun. Here's where things get really wild, because the newborn baby wakes up incredibly hungry and he just takes off into the heavens. This moment perfectly captures the playful absurdity of the myth. Think about the two totally different perspectives here. From the baby's point of view, he just sees a beautiful, sweet, glowing red fruit hanging up in the sky and he wants breakfast. But from the god's perspective, a magical monkey child is literally swallowing the sun, triggering an absolute cosmic disaster and plunging the entire universe into sudden, terrifying darkness. And that forces a huge reaction in Chapter 4, Indra's Vajra strike. Devraj Indra has to use extreme force to stop this unstoppable kid. Let's move through this timeline and see how fast this crisis escalates. Right at sunrise, the baby flies up. By morning, he's actually swallowed the sun and the universe goes completely pitch black. By mid-morning, a totally panicked Indra arrives and hurls his ultimate weapon, the lightning bolt known as the Vajra, striking the baby. And by noon, the impact frees the sun from the child's mouth, but the baby falls from the sky completely unconscious. And then, the universe just stopped breathing. Literally. When Pawandev saw his beloved son struck down and lying lifeless on the ground, his grief morphed into this blinding rage. In protest, he completely withdrew himself from the world. He stopped all air from flowing. Every single creature across all of creation suddenly began to suffocate. Which leads us to our final chapter, Chapter 5, the boon of the name Hanuman. The gods are now desperately rushing to appease a furious wind god to save a breathless universe. Now, what's really interesting about this is the ultimate aha moment regarding his iconic name. The word Hanuman actually comes from Hanu, which means jaw or chin. When Indra's Vajra struck the flying baby, it hit him right on the chin, leaving a permanent mark. To make amends for this, Indra declared that this mark would only enhance his divine beauty. And from that day forward, the boy would be revered across the world as Hanuman, the one with the prominent jaw. But listen, a cool new name wasn't nearly enough to calm down the wind god. The gods had to offer some serious universe-level reparations. First, Indra restores the baby's consciousness. Then he grants him Vajra-like invincibility, meaning his body becomes practically indestructible. He's also given Ichhamrityu, the power to choose the time of his own death, which essentially makes him immortal. Finally seeing his son transformed into this conscious, invincible powerhouse, Pavande relents and restores airflow to the universe. So here's the really provocative thought I want to leave you with. We all know Hanuman for his immense strength and unyielding devotion. But consider this. Would he be the immortal powerhouse we know today without this massive cosmic mistake? If the wind hadn't stopped, if the gods hadn't panicked and showered him with these ultimate boons out of sheer guilt, would he have become the invincible hero of the Ramayana? It's just wild to think about how one innocent baby's hunger literally forged history's greatest devotee. Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me, and I hope it gives you a whole new appreciation for the origin of an absolute legend.